Right then, so today we're going to take a quick look at multiplying integers using one of the most popular methods, which is the column method. So just like when we've done questions on these with addition and subtraction, we're going to put these numbers into their respective columns. So for this example, I've got 35 multiplied by 8. So just like when we've used the column method for addition and subtraction, we're going to start from the right-hand side. So to begin with, I'm going to do 8 multiplied by 5, which is actually 40. So I'm going to put the 0 in this column, and then I'm going to carry the 4 over, so it's going to go down here. And then I'm going to do 8 multiplied by 3, which is 24, but then I've got to remember to add on this 4 down here, so that would give me 28. So 8 would go in this column and the 2 in front. So the final answer to this question would be 280. Okay, we've got some more examples here to try. If you want to have a go at these first, feel free to pause the video here and we'll go through them in just a few seconds. Okay, so setting up this first question, I've got 57 multiplied by 3. So again, we start with the right-hand side. I'm going to do 3 multiplied by 7, which is 21. So the 1 would go in this column and I'd carry over the 2 to the next column. We'd then do 3 times 5, which is 15, but then add on the 2 is 17. So the 7 in this column and then the 1 in front. So that would be 171. Okay, for this next question, we have 89 multiplied by 9. Okay, then to begin with, if we're starting with this 9, we've got 9 multiplied by 9, which is 81. So the 1 in this column, carry over the 8. And now I've got 9 multiplied by 8, which is 72. Then I have to add on the 8. So 72 add 8 is 80. So the 0 in this column and the 8 in front. So the answer to that one is 801. Okay, for this next question, we've got 146 multiplied by 6. So again, starting from the right-hand side, we have 6 multiplied by 6, which is 36. So 6, carry the 3. We've then got 6 times 4, which is 24. But then we've got to add on the 3, so that's 27. So 7 in this column, carry over the 2. And then finally, we've got 6 multiplied by 1, which is 6. But then we have to add the 2, which gives us 8. So the answer to this one is 876. And then finally, we have 239 multiplied by 3. So again, starting from the right, we have 3 times 9, which is 27. So 7 here, carry the 2. We then have 3 times 3, which is 9. Add on the 2 is 11. So 1 in this column and a 1 in this column. We then have 3 times 2, which is 6. Add the 1, gives us 7. So our final answer here would be 717. Okay, so we've looked at some examples now where we've been multiplying by a single digit. We're now going to take a look at some examples where we're multiplying by 2 and even 3 digits. So for this example, we've got 23 multiplied by 34. So again, we're using the column method. So just like when we do addition and subtraction, we're going to start from the right-hand side column. So we're going to start with this 4 to begin with. So we're going to do 4 multiplied by 3, which gives us 12. So I'm going to put a 2, and then I'm going to carry over a tiny 1. We're then going to do 4 multiplied by 2, which is 8. We then add on the 1, which gives us 9. So I'm going to write a 9 here. Okay, we're now going to move over a column. So we're now multiplying by this 3. So now that I've moved over to this 3, I need to put a placeholder. I need to put a 0 in this column here. So to begin with, we're going to do 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9. So the 9 would go here. We're then going to do 3 multiplied by 2, which is 6. So our 6 would go here. So now with these 2 rows of numbers, I simply have to add them together. So we have 2 add 0, which is 2. We have 9 add 9, which is 18. So I put the 8 here, carry over the 1. And then we'll have 6 add 1 is 7. So our answer to this question is 782. So as I said, we've got some examples here now where we're multiplying by 2 digits. And then right at the end, we've got an example where we're multiplying by 3 digits. So if you want to have a go at these now, feel free to pause the video here and we'll go through the answers in just a few seconds. So for our first question, we have 52 multiplied by 31. So I'm going to start with this right-hand column. I'm going to start with the 1. So I do 1 multiplied by 2, which is 2. And then 1 multiplied by 5, which is just 5. We're then moving along to the 3. So I need a placeholder. So I'm going to put a 0 in this column. I then do 3 multiplied by 2, which is 6. We then do 3 multiplied by 5, which is 15. So we have the 5 here and then the 1 in front. With these two rows, we now need to add these numbers together. So we have 2 add 0, which is 2. We have 5 add 6, which is 11. So I put a 1 in this column and a 1 in this column. I've then got a 5, but then I have to add the 1 that I've just carried over. So that's going to give me 6. And then I've got a 1 all on its own. So the answer to this one is 1,612. Okay, for our next question, we have 348 multiplied by 24. So we're going to start with the right-hand column. We're going to start with that 4. So we've got 4 times 8, which is 32. So I put the 2 in this column and carry over the 3. I've then got 4 times 4, which is 16. Add on the 3 gives me 19. So the 9 would go here, carry over the 1. I've then got 4 times 3, which is 12. Add the 1 is 13. So I'd have a 3 in this column and then a 1 here. So now because we're moving over to the 2, we need a placeholder in this column. So then we do 2 times 8, which is 16. So I do a 6 here, carry over a 1. I then do 2 times 4, which is 8. Add on the 1 is 9. And then finally I have 2 times 3, which is 6. So the 6 would go there. Then with these two rows, I have to add these numbers together. So we would have 2 add 0, which is 2. 9 add 6, which is 15. So 5 carry the 1. 3 add 9, which is 12. Then add on the 1, which gives us 13. So I'd have a 3 here, a 1 over here. Then I'd have 1 add 6, which is 7. Add on the extra 1 gives us 8. So we'd have 8,352. Okay, and for our final example, we're actually going to be multiplying by 3 digits. So we have 154 multiplied by 232. So to begin with, we're going to start with this right-hand column. So I'm going to do 2 multiplied by 4, which is 8. We then do 2 times 5, which is 10. So a 0 in this column, carry over a 1. And then we have 2 times 1, which is 2, but then add on the 1 gives us 3. We're then moving over a column to this 3, so I need a placeholder here. So I put in my 0 in this column. I've then got 3 times 4, which is 12. So 2 in this column, carry over the 1. I've then got 3 times 5, which is 15. Add on the 1 is 16. So 6 in this column, carry over a 1. And then I've got 3 times 1, which is 3. Add on the 1, that gives me a 4. And then finally, we're moving over to the left-hand column. We've got this 2. So now I need 2 placeholders this time. So a 0 here and a 0 here. So now I do 2 multiplied by 4, which is 8. 2 multiplied by 5, which is 10. So 0, then carry over the 1. And then we have 2 multiplied by 1, which is 2. Then we have to add on that 1, which gives us 3. So now all I have to do with these 3 rows of numbers is just simply add them together. So we have 8 add 0 is 8. 0 add 2 add 0 is 2. We then have 3 add 6, which is 9. Add on the 8 is 17, so 7, carry the 1. We then have 4 add 0, which is 4, but then add on that 1 gives us 5. And then finally, we have that 3 on its own, so we'd have 3 here. So our final answer to this question would be 35,728. And that's the last question for today's video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. If there are any topics at all that you'd like me to go through next, then please just let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to go through those topics as soon as possible. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.